Hello, welcome to Illuminate Your Life. I am Julie Deanne. Here today, I would love to talk with you about brave thinking. Now, people ask me a lot, what do you mean by this brave thinking? What do you mean a blueprint for success? What is that anyway? The analogy I like to bring up, I like to think of it as you want to bake a cake. Now, we all know there are all kinds of cakes that can be made, right? But there are certain specific ingredients, just things that have to come together in order for a cake to be made, right? So you have to have some sort of substance, a flour of some type, and there are all kinds of types of flour, or some grain, something that can be a physical element. And then you have to add a liquid. That could be water, it could be milk, there's all different kinds of milk, and maybe there's oil, maybe you have eggs, maybe you don't. There's all kinds of some sort of liquid that has to go into the cake. Then there are other things, you add sugar, or some type of sugar, or a sweetener, or maybe you don't want a sweetener in the cake. Maybe you really don't want it to be sweet, so you don't add that. And then there are other things, right, to make it rise, to make it flat, if it's a cheesecake. So we know there are an infinite number of cake possibilities. But you have to put the ingredients together. You have to mix them in some way. And then there's a baking period, right? You have to have an oven, or maybe it goes in the freezer. There's some sort of period that the ingredients have to coalesce and gel and come together before the cake is ready to be eaten. And then, of course, there are umpteen ways to decorate and to add things onto it. So just like there are an infinite number of ways to make that cake, once you know the framework, the basic recipe of you need something that is solid and something that is liquid and some additional items, and you get to pick and choose all of that, as you get practiced at baking a cake using the recipe or using a basic format and structure, you can then start to substitute and start to even, at some point, become a master, like a master chef, and create your own cake recipes, right? Our lives are like that. Success is like that. So there are certain steps that you've taken in your life to achieve successes along your way. Whether consciously or subconsciously, you've done successful things. And there are people, everyone in this world, has to take certain steps to achieve success. Now, there's not just one right way, right? There are a lot of different ways that are right to make a cake, and there are a lot of different ways that are right to achieve success. But there is a basic pattern or blueprint. There are certain things that we all have to do in order to achieve success. And that's what we're talking about with brave thinking and the blueprint for success. So join the masterclass, the free masterclass that I'm offering this Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern via Zoom. And you can click on the link and register. Join me and discover just what those success steps, that blueprint for success is, to help you in moving forward in your life and achieving the successes that you want in every area. Be luminous.